The Sustainable Agriculture in the Caribbean SAC project is implemented by the World University Service of Canada, WUSC, with funding support from the Government of Canada through Global Affairs Canada GAC. As per a gender-responsive market study conducted by WUSC through consultation with partners and producers, the SAC project decided to support the white potato market system. In the first 2 years of the SAC project, WUSC, in collaboration with Government of Dominica, agencies, private sector, and producer organizations, has facilitated the expansion of the white potato market system. A very important actor who is involved in the white potato market system in Dominica is the Dominica Export-Import Agency. Dexia has been in operation for over 35 years, and its packhouses has been the main wholesale distributors of locally grown potatoes on the local market. Dexia's infrastructure has been used for processing fresh produce by the entity and by local and regional hucksters. We interviewed the manager of the multi-purpose packhouses and the vice president of the Central Universal Farmers Group to get their feedback on the SAC project involvement in the white potato market system and their vision for the subsector.
My name is Bristol Lawrence. I'm the operations manager for the multi-purpose packhouses at Dexia. We have 2 facilities. We will officially launch sometime in 2016, and we've been operating ever since. Irish potato is something we really get into after Hurricane Maria, because most of the farmers have lost some of their ability to do their curing and storage. So we stepped in as an organization agency to help the farmers and to see how we can grow the industry from maybe strength to strength.
I am Heska Chatter, a farmer in the Montjoy area, a member of the Universal Central Farmers Group. My group is a group comprising of women farmers between the ages of 21 and 62. We do a lot of different vegetables, root crops, and it comprises of women from bells, corona. We do a lot of ginger, Irish potato, sweet potato seedlings, and other tree crops. And we also have a youth arm within our group, which comprises of boys and girls from the ages of 16 to 19.
WUSC, during the Propel project, which was funded by Global Affairs Canada, collaborated with Dexia to support the interventions that increase the production of white potatoes in Dominica. The SAC project, also implemented by WUSC in partnership with Global Affairs Canada, has continued the Propel project collaboration with partners and producers to support the white potato market system. Mr. Bristol Lawrence, packhouse manager at Dexia, described some of the advancements in the white potato sector.
We let it cure for a period of time where we could do bagging, weighing in uniformity with what the supermarkets would want, and then we would do delivery to the supermarkets once they call us for the sale of the crop.
As part of the SAC intervention in partnership with the Government of Canada, a reefer container was donated for more efficient and effective storage and distribution of high-quality, locally grown potatoes. This intervention increased Dexia's capacity to store products at predetermined temperatures and will assist in the storage of other fresh produce commodities supported.
We mainly there as a supporting role, but we see it further than that, because if you want to have an improved system, you need to have some form of standards and control. It provided us with more capacity, especially for this year. There has been an increase in the number of seeds that is being planted. That will give us a little more confidence in storing the seeds, because once you receive the tubers, the best practice is to have it under temperature control. So with that reefer, we are able to now control the temperature at which we store it, and we can prolong that shelf life of that tuber before we export it to the supermarket or restaurants or other wholesalers.
This reefer container is valued just over $80,000. Is essential in addressing the challenges such as storage and sourcing markets once the food has been produced. The provision of the reefer will support the local distribution of white potatoes and ensure that our farmers are financially sustainable as they continue with production.
Mr. Lawrence and Ms. Chatter indicated the following when asked about the other interventions facilitated by WUSC Caribbean, which includes the National White Potato Dialogue supporting forming the White Potato Cooperative and provision of tillers and agri-crates for farmer groups.
You need to get the stakeholders involved. I think you were instrumental in helping to try to form a cooperative around Irish potato and getting all the necessary link of that value chain working. So it's important to have that kind of dialogue, look at the strength, the weaknesses, and the opportunities and challenges that will confront the sector, and plan.
One of the interventions implemented by the SAC project that Ms. Charter and her group were very appreciative of was the white potato pilots, which demonstrated best practices in the cultivation of white potato.
We had an experimental plot on my holding, where we did 15 bags of potatoes. We did the Sprunton, we did the Almando. With the pilot, we had different farmers from Bells and Warner coming to see. And every day, we would have a step-by-step learning process taking place. And out of that, some farmers went back and they tried white potato this year. I think it was a success. So I followed the step-by-step, if you see my potatoes, and today I am thankful for that, because when it comes to disease, I had no disease.
In order to build the capacity of women farmers, the SAC project provided a tiller to the Central Universal Farmers Group.
We got a tiller that WUSC gave us. When it comes to costs, I would have to pay somebody about $300 to till with their hand manually. But with the tiller, I paid $150. It's easy up on the expense on labor costs. It's a very fast process. What we do with that tiller, members use it and we rent out that tillers to other farmers in the area. Depending on the amount of hours that the person handling the tiller, we pay the person for the balance. So we put that into our fund for maintenance of the tiller. And WUSC is going to give us a drying house, a storeroom where we could dry our potatoes or onions for all the groups in the area.
He advised on the farmers' reaction to Dexia's involvement in the white potato market system.
It gave them a bit of confidence because collectively, we have really provided them with a secure market. Once they plant, they know they can find a place to sell and sell in quick time. And Irish potato really is a short-term crop, which can be referred to as a cash crop. So within 3 months, you can start to see returns and then get into some other crops, which is short-term as well.
Dexia has increased its role within the market systems to provide more smart incentives that benefit farmers.
With Dexia intervention this year, where it provided the seeds at a credit, a farmer can take a lot more risk because most of the risk is on Dexia. You can go ahead and plant as much as you can and then maximize the returns. I think that is a step in the right direction for the industry, and I hope we can just build on it.
Ms. Chatter mentioned that she has increased her productivity as a result of the new enabling factors, which include the availability of tiller services as a result of the SAC intervention and credit arrangements provided by Dexia.
I did 15 bags for this season. I have 10 in the soil and I have 5 more to be planted. I did some on the credit scheme with Dexia. You can take 5 bags or more where you get fertilizer and you get chemicals that you can use. And then after you harvest, you take it to Dexia, they weigh and they take their money out of what you spend. If it's $1,000 something, and the balance is yours.
Other interventions include?
From last year to this current harvest cycle, I think there's been a 100% increase.
The donation of this reefer container is a timely intervention, as the Ministries of Trade and Agriculture have synchronized their objectives and efforts at lowering the country's food import bill to provide livelihood support to our farmers and striving to implement a double planting white potato season this year. This would reduce the volumes of white potato imported, and it would allow our farmers and white potato vendors a bigger share of the white potato market.
The SAC project has facilitated post-harvest management training of white potato to men, women, and youth.
When you harvest, know your type of crop, know the type of tools you need to use to harvest. Storage of potatoes is important because the process of curing takes place.
Every item that has to be delivered has to be delivered properly, be it in crates, boxes, bags, whatever. Each item has a maybe a more perishable aspect to it. The presentation of it, the way you handle it, the way you store it, the way you transport it, all that affects your end product.
WUSC Caribbean, Dominica, in the third quarter of year 2 of the SAC project, conducted a national dialogue with the goal of forging linkages between local producers and retailers within the vegetable, white potato, herbs and spices market systems. At this event, producers and retailers highlighted challenges hindering the growth of producers. One of the biggest concerns by both women and youth producers and retailers was the loss of income associated with poor quality products reaching the buyer, mostly due to poor handling practices and transportation to the market, resulting in rejects and spoilage, which negatively affects actors on both ends of the transactions. As such, there was an intervention designed to provide post-harvest management training, tools, crates, techniques, the design and distribution of a white potato crop calendar to improve the quality standards of products being sold within the white potato market system. This, of course, will also support other market systems, inclusive of herbs and spices and vegetables, as most women and youth producers are actively engaged in these as well. By piloting this initiative, in collaboration with Dexia and the Ministry of Agriculture, we anticipate in the future farmers would invest in crates and utilize knowledge gained from the trainings in post-harvest management to maintain the good quality of their products, therefore increasing and maintaining producers' profitability. Additionally, it is anticipated that retailers would be more likely to purchase from local women, youth, and male producers first before considering imports of products within the vegetable, white potato, herbs, and spices once they are available locally.
We are understanding now the purpose, the viability of the white potato. And we strongly believe that if we have the right, dedicated members of that cooperative, we believe that this white potato industry will replace the banana industry.
Successful white potato production in Dominica depends on coordinated efforts for the transfer of technology, research and development, production and market support, and local consumption. A total of 60 acres from the distribution of 1,750 bags, or that is 39,954 kilograms of seed material, was established throughout the participation of 180 farmers for the 2022-2023 planting season. This is a significant increase compared to the 2021-2022 season, where we saw the establishment of 35 acres among 120 farmers. The provision of these field crates to white potato farmers will guard against mechanical damage and also protect consumers by enhancing the protective measures in the storage and handling of the tubers to reduce the incidence of food contamination.
I think all of the trainings, whether it was post-harvest or even from inception, the work that you have done in this short space of time, especially the WUSC side, it's commendable.
Big thank you to the Government of Canada and for SAP and its staff and its team. I think you guys are doing a great job.
I would also like to highlight the mere fact that we can see the output of all of the hard work over the years, all of the collaboration with the many actors. And by seeing the harvest that we're reaping this year, I think it's really a bumper crop. I'm seeing at the back of Dexia what we're getting out of the fields, and it's tremendous to see the harvest that is coming before us. And of course, the support and the contribution by the Government of Dominica, the Ministry of Agriculture, and Dexia in ensuring that there's a consolidated approach to supporting the farmers in marketing.